Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jayam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 13, Appearance of Lord Varahadev, text number 45. So the sages from upper planetary systems, they are praying to the Lord. Sarvai bhat bhrashta matis pavaishate yah karmanam paramapar karmanah yad yog maya gun yog mohitam vishwam samastam bhagwan videhisham. O Lord, there is no limit to your wonderful activities. Anyone who desires to know the limit of your activities is certainly nonsensical. Everyone in this world is conditioned by the powerful mystic potencies. Please bestow your causeless mercy upon these conditioned souls. Mental speculators who want to understand the limit of the unlimited are certainly nonsensical. Every one of them is captivated by the external potencies of the Lord. The best thing for them is to surrender unto Him, knowing Him to be inconceivable, for thus they can receive His causeless mercy. This prayer was offered by the inhabitants of the higher planetary systems, namely Jana, Tapas, and Satyalokas, who are far more intelligent and powerful than humans. Vishwam Samastam is very significant here. There are the material world and the spiritual world. The sages pray, both worlds are bewildered by your different energies. Those who are in the spiritual world are absorbed in your loving service, forgetting themselves. And you also, and those in the material world, are absorbed in material sense gratification, and therefore also forget you. No one can know you because you are unlimited. It's best not to try to know you by unnecessary mental speculation. Rather, kindly bless us so that we can worship you with causeless devotion service. To know the Lord, it's just impossible, it cannot happen. so the sages are saying, please bestow your causeless mercy upon these conditioned souls, so we all can serve Him, try to serve Him, engage in devotion service. Maitreya iti upasthiya manvaso munirbhir brahmavadibi salilesva khurakranta upadatta vitavanim. The sage Maitreya said, the Lord, being thus worshipped by all the great sages and transcendentalists, touched the earth with his hoofs and placed it on the water. The earth was placed on the water by his inconceivable potency. The Lord is all powerful, and therefore he can sustain the huge planets either on the water or in the air as he likes. The tiny human brain cannot conceive how these potencies of the Lord can act. Man can give some vague explanation of the laws by which such phenomena are made possible, but actually the tiny human brain is unable to conceive of the activities of the Lord, which are therefore called inconceivable. Yet the frog-like philosophers still try to give some imaginary explanation. So he touched the earth with his hooves, means because the earth was on his tusks, so with his hooves he put the earth and placed it on the water. Or put it in the orbit, wherever it is supposed to go. Saitam Bhagwan Nurvim Vishwaksena Prajapati Rasaya Lilayo Nitam Mapsu Nyasayayo Harihi. In this manner, the personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the maintainer of all living entities, raised the earth from the water, and having placed it afloat on the water, he returned to his own abode. The personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, descends by his will to the material planets in his innumerable incarnations for particular purposes, and again he goes back to his own abode. See, again, we have to understand he went back to his own abode, means he came from his abode, means he is not an incarnation of Vishnu. All these, all these Leela avatars, all these avatars who come, they're not incarnation of Vishnu. They just, as I had explained, that they come first. First, like Lord Varadev, he came through the body of Kshirodaksha Vishnu, and then through the nostril of Brahmaji, just to play his pastime the way he wanted to. He's supremely independent to play the way he wants to play. So here it clearly says he returned to his own abode. So there are innumerable Vaikuntha planets. So when Vaikuntha planet is Varahaloka, where Lord Varahadev reside and um, with his devotees, with his associates, with his servants. And whenever there's time for him to come here and perform his pastime, he comes, performs it, and then he goes back to his abode. When he descends, he is called an avatar, because avatar means one who descends. Neither the Lord himself nor his specific devotees who come to this earth are ordinary living entities like us. स एवमेतां हरिमेधसो हरे कथां सुभद्रां कथनीय मायिनः शृण्वीत भक्त्या श्रवयेत वोषतीं जनार्दनो अस्याशु हृदि प्रसीदति. If one hears and describes in a devotional service attitude the auspicious narrations of Lord Bore, which is worthy of description, the Lord, who is within the heart of everyone, is very pleased. So these auspicious narrations we have to hear with devotional attitude, with some faith, not with some doubt or how this is possible. In his various incarnations, the Lord appears, acts, and leaves behind him a narrative history which is as transcendental as he himself. Every one of us is fond of hearing some wonderful narration, but most stories are neither auspicious nor worth hearing because they are of the inferior quality of material nature. Every living entity is of superior quality, spirit, soul, and nothing material can be auspicious for him. Intelligent persons should therefore hear personally and cause others to hear the descriptive narrations of the Lord's activities, for that will destroy the pangs of material existence. Out of his causeless mercy only, the Lord comes to this earth and leaves behind his merciful activities so that the devotees may derive transcendental benefit. So these pastimes of Lord Varahadev have been sung millions of years, for the millions of years. And still devotees take so much of pleasure in describing these. And every time we hear these pastimes, every time we discuss these pastimes, we find newer and newer details. And they are amazing. How the Lord, He is supremely transcendental, supreme personality of Godhead. Why He has to take the form of a boar? Because only a boar can go and look for earth in that dirty place where the earth was kept by Hiranyaksha. So he takes the form of a boar. But at the same time, through all the sages' prayers of Bhagavatam, he makes sure that we understand, even in the body of a boar, even if he has taken the form of a boar, he is completely transcendental. He is completely full of mercy and knowledge. His body is spiritual. There's nothing material in his body. And he performs this super wonderful pastime so we can We can derive benefit by hearing and chanting about these. And then the Lord Varade becomes pleased with us when we discuss these pastimes with devotion. तस्मिन् प्रसन्ने सकलाशिषां प्रभो किं दुर्लभं ताभिरलं लभात्मभिः अनन्यदृष्ट्या भजतां गुहाशया स्वयं विधत्ते स्वगतिं परम्पराम्. Nothing remains unachieved when the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased with someone. By transcendental achievement, one understands everything else to be insignificant. One who engages in transcendental loving service is elevated to the highest perfectional stage by the Lord Himself, who is seated in everyone's heart. So, one who is engaged in transcendental loving service is elevated to the highest perfectional stage by the Lord Himself. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 10:10, the Lord gives intelligence to the pure devotees so that they may be elevated to the highest perfectional stage. So clearly, we are not going to reach the perfectional stage on our own, by our own practice or sadhana. We're going to reach there by mercy of the Lord. But He gets pleased by seeing our sincere efforts in performing the devotion service. It is confirmed herein that a pure devotee who constantly engages in the loving service of the Lord is awarded all knowledge necessary to reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For such a devotee, there is nothing valuable to be achieved but the Lord's service. If one serves faithfully, there is no possibility of frustration because the Lord Himself takes charge of the devotee's advancement. So if one serves faithfully, there is no possibility of frustration because the Lord Himself takes charge of the devotee's advancement. So many times devotees say, oh, I'm not making advancement and I'm not doing enough and this and that. At our own pace, we all are making advancement. Slowly, slowly, maybe slowly. But when we are serving faithfully, whatever service we do, Lord take charge of that devotee's advancement. We don't have to worry about it. Of course, we just have to worry about that we are serving faithfully. That's all. And also, when the Lord takes charge of devotees' advancement, means there is no caution or there is no place for any kind of enviousness. The Lord is giving His mercy to a devotee. How can I be envious of that devotee? Doesn't make sense. That means that I am envious of Lord's mercy, or I think Lord doesn't know what He's doing. Who am I to judge this way? All we have to do is make sure that we continue to serve faithfully and we help others. We can help others. We can be in a mode of caring and service mode with other devotees, so they also make progress, or they also can carry on with their services. And if we help others, at the same time, the Lord will help us also. That's another secret of making progress. So if we are serving faithfully, helping others, making progress, Lord will definitely take charge, make sure that we also make advancement. The Lord is seated in everyone's heart and He knows the devotee's motive and arranges everything achievable. In other words, the pseudo devotee who's anxious to achieve material gains cannot attain the highest perfectional stage because the Lord is in the knowledge of his motive. One merely has to become sincere in his purpose, and the Lord is there to help in every way. Wow, very nice purport. So Lord knows, He is biggest problem is he is also sitting as Paramatma in our heart. So he knows what our desires are, even the subtle desires. He knows everything. The motives behind devotional service. If somebody has motive that he becomes a very rich man, Lord can make him to whatever extent Lord wants to. Or he becomes a powerful man with lots of followers, or he gets this position or that position, even in the devotional circle, Lord can make that arrangement. That's not at all a problem for him. Only thing he doesn't give very easily is pure devotion service. And that's what Prabhupada says. One merely has to become sincere in his purpose, and then the Lord is there to help in every way. All he has to do, sincere and simple at heart. Be simple, straightforward at heart. Lord is there to help. Maybe next canto, I think fourth canto is when we study about Dhruv Maharaj. Now, Dhruv Maharaj, what did he desire? His desire was to have a kingdom better than even of Lord Brahma. Somebody can say it was all material desire. Yes, it was material desire. He has a material motive. But as soon as he saw the Lord, he said, forget it, I don't want anything. And it wasn't, he was just pretending it. Lord is there sitting in everybody's heart. He knows what the devotee wants. We can't cheat him. Like in Bhagavad Gita, we studied, he is the biggest of cheaters. Among all cheatings, he's a gambling. Among all kinds of cheating, he's gambling. So he's the biggest cheater. Cheater in the sense, if you want to cheat him, that if you want to pretend to show him that, oh, I'm a very big devotee, I'm a very sincere devotee, he knows what's in our heart. So instead of giving us a real thing, he can give us something, just an illusory thing. Okay, you want money? Okay, take the money. What's the big deal? Take the followers. Take this position. Take that position. But we have to be sincere in our purpose, clean in our heart, simple, just simple. Oh my Lord, I only want devotion service. I just want service to you. That's it. Dhruv Maharaj, although he wanted the material benefits, but as soon as he saw, he said, forget it, I don't want. But Krishna is so merciful. He said, no, you wanted that material benefit, so I'll give you that material benefit first. But you will always remain my faithful devotee. You'll never forget me. And at the end of this life, you'll come back to me. So Dhruv Maharaj got the best of both the worlds. But when a devotee becomes so sincere in his service, even though the Lord gives, it's not that Lord doesn't give power and position and prestige and the money and the opulence to his devotees. He gives them. Even to his sincere devotees, he gives them. But he makes sure the devotee doesn't even have a tinge of desire to enjoy that opulence. It takes away all the desires of enjoyment. The devotee's only desire is to use everything, engage everything in service of the Lord. And that's when he gives pure devotees. He gives Prabhupada everything. Money, followers, temples all over the world. The kind of glories and prestige that Prabhupada got, nobody will ever have. To establish a worldwide Krishna consciousness movement. Nobody can do that. And nobody has ever done that before. And in that moment, Prabhupada although started with 40 rupees only, but how much money he got? towards the end. But he wasn't attached at all. He just wanted to use every single penny in the service of the Lord. He wasn't attached to to his followers. He was just attached with them and in a mode of service, as a mode of training them to help them grow spiritually. But it wasn't like he was saying, "Oh, you all are like my servants." In that way, I mean, not in the mood of control or something like that, not in negatively. So Krishna can give everything. All he knows what's in our heart. So we just have to make sure our heart is clean. We just have to be simple, very, very simple. That's all. Inside, not just as a show for others. Inside. को नाम लोके पुरुषार्थ सारवित पुरा कथा नाम भगवत कथा सुधाम आपीय करणांजलि भिर भवापहम अहो विरज्येत विना नरेतरम. Who other than one who's not a human being can exist in this world and not be interested in the ultimate goal of life? Who can refuse the nectar of narrations about the personality of God, its activities, and which by itself can deliver one from all material pangs? So the sage is saying, who can not have any affinity for this? Means who's not a human being, only he can. The narration of the activities of the personality of Godhead is like a constant flow of nectar. No one can refuse to drink such nectar except one who's not a human being. Devotional service to the Lord is the highest goal of life for every human being, and such devotional service begins by hearing about the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. Only an animal or a man who's almost an animal in behavior can refuse to take an interest in hearing the transcendental message of the Lord. There are many books of stories and histories in the world, but except for the histories or narrations on the topics of the personality of Godhead, none are capable of diminishing the burden of material pangs. Therefore, one who is serious about eliminating material existence must chant and hear of the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. Otherwise, one must be compared to the non-humans. So in earlier canto, I think first canto, second chapter, or somewhere there, it is mentioned that one who's not hearing, who's not engaging in the hearing about the pastimes of the Lord, he has ear holes like the holes of snake, where the snakes live. If his tongue is not chanting the glories of the Lord, then the tongue is like that of a frog. That frog's tongue just does some turr, and it invites a snake to eat him. So wonderfully it's said that if we are not, don't have that affinity, then we are not even human beings. So at least let's us first become human beings. And not just human beings, we can become pure devotees of the Lord just by becoming a simple servant of the Lord. Engage in devotional service in simple way, it's a perfect way, no duplicity, no hypocrisy, nothing except chanting of the holy names and hearing about the Lord. So here completes the 13th chapter. So we'll start the 14th chapter tomorrow. So we'll stop here. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
here it is said on text 47 that Lord Varadev raised the earth from water, which we understand, and then having placed it afloat on the water, So this entire atmosphere that we look at, which appears to us as air, is this in transcendental term water? Is that how we should understand it?
Um, See, here obviously it's not mentioned, but other place, as I said, when the earth looked at the Lord, asked him, "Where are you going to place me?" The Lord said, "Will you see that land, which is just Dham, Vrindavan Dham?" He said, "I'll place you over there." So, of course, it says he placed it afloat on the water, but actually he placed it, what I've understood from other places, that in the orbit where the Earth was supposed to go. So somehow it says here, placed it afloat on the water. Maybe Brahmaji will do it the rest of the job. I don't know.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you all. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.